Chapter 12, Episode 3. Though Blussah still didn't know the assassin was a 25-year-old brain-dead beauty model with a 16-year-old top-fit street rat brain, he had a good idea that the assassin was stronger and smarter and more dangerous than the average insurgence man would be. So many successive hits seemed excessive for a careful killer. Blussah suspected the killer would either get caught or disappear. The killer was given them nothing. A psychopathic killer always left some kind of signature. This killer's signature was lack of signature and evidence. Blussah didn't know about the mechanical mosquito. The victim had smashed it just a second too late. The FBI knew what it was. It was one of theirs. At least the materials and design said so. That a teenager could find the plans, find the parts, and build the thing did not enter their collective, perhaps a little too arrogant, minds. The evidence turned out to be more misleading than no evidence. The FBI still had no leads on how someone faked Sandra MacDonald. The workers often talked to each other at the sorting lines but seldom looked at each other. They watched the packages. But to fake the Sandra MacDonald show for a working day, leaving the house and coming home, still seemed unusual. An alternative view was that she was put into a trance under some behavioral modifying drugs, remote control, mind control. A reasonable mind went with the conclusion that someone had impersonated her. This led to looking within the military for women who resembled Sandra MacDonald. They would not find her. Jenkins, I think I'll take your advice and take a week off, maybe Florida sun. You have enough overtime for a month. I wish I could. Just not think about murders and murder victims for a month. Fuck me. You could write a detective novel. I could get drunk at lunch and snooze in the shade. Okay, Blussah, but forget Florida. You've been there. Get out of the country. Pick an island with a beach. Walk barefoot in the ocean. Blussah had never been outside the States. He hadn't even been to Canada. He knew people did that sort of thing, but he never thought to. He was happy to have a day off and just lays in his apartment. Anything he could do on holiday, he could do at home. Name a place, Jenkins, but not Canada. They think we're a bunch of cunts. Cuba. No, they're commies too. Oh fuck, Blussah, it isn't a contagious disease. Still no, never liked Castro or that Shaggy Riviera. Jenkins shook her head. She knew Blussah wasn't that ignorant. He just enjoyed the persona. It often caught people off guard, as well as getting them to put down their guard. Dominican Republic. No, don't like the sound of it. Sounds like a con. Sure, now that you mention it. Barbados. Nah, they all play golf and fish. So what? Never mind. Here's an interesting package deal. Aruba. On the beach. All morning breakfast. All day coffee and tea. Bar at the pool. Great view. What's Aruba? Are they commies? No one says commies anymore, Blussah. No, the politically correct commies are renaming everything so we don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore. Get over here and look. Blussah rolled over on his chair and looked at a series of photographs from rooms, restaurants, pool and bar, and the sunset over the ocean, or sunrise, with the beach and light on the water from the morning or evening sun. There were birds in the photograph. The photographs fascinated Blussah. It was very different from what he saw every day, all day. How much for a beer at the bar? We'll check. You gonna call them? We are now at their website. No question goes unanswered. Do they speak American? Jenkins ignored him while she found out that Aruba was one of the safest places for tourists in the Caribbean. She read about the language and almost scratched her head. Most everyone speaks English.